leprosy. The isolation thing. Some people knew about the word isolation when COVID-19 came. I mean, they didn't know the meaning of isolation until COVID-19 came. So you can imagine that kind of man. And then he went to the prophet. And the prophet was like, what do you want me to do for you? He said, I mean, he had leprosy. He needed to be cured. And maybe he was expecting the prophet to say, let's take you to the best hospital in town. And the prophet said, no, God is telling me to tell you to go to that dirty river there and go and wash. He said, me, as big as I am, I'll go and enter dirty river and wash. If you were him, what would you do? Because you don't have a choice, you do it, Abby. Yeah. So you can imagine, sometimes the will of God is not usually very pleasant. It's not what you expect. It can come in a very deceptive way. Imagine a prophet that God told the prophets to go and marry a prostitute. Shege. If it was in our time, and they say they are telling you as a man of God to say you go and pick a prostitute from the street and marry, you say, Father, it's not me and you. Lie. Me. What will people say about me? That I'm, It's not me. I can't do that kind of thing. Right? So sometimes the will of God is not the way God thinks. The Bible says that his ways are far away from our ways. So the question I want to ask you today, if God tells you to do something that does not resonate with you, something that you don't feel is okay, the question is, will you do it? Answer me now. Our theme is what? Thy will be done. If God tells you to do something that you feel is not in your own judgment, everything being equal, is not syncing with the way you feel, it's probably not going to make you happy. It's going to bite you somehow. Question is, will you do it? Answer me now. Answer me now. Nobody's answering, So nobody here is ready to do God's will, the will of God. You do it. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? If you see somebody who has COVID-19, and God says, go and hug the person, will you hug him? You will hug him. If this guy is sneezing, you will hug him. Lengrabo Sanda. Somebody will say, I live to fight another day. By the name of Jesus, and you go back. See, the will of God is not easy. I'm telling you the truth. So if you are here and you call yourself a son of God, a child of God, and you're not ready to do those tough things that God sometimes might compel you to do, not because it's sweet, not because it's comfortable, and you say you're a child of God, then you need to go and test your childness again. Because God is teaching us a lesson here in this place. He's telling us something. He's telling us that sometimes his ways may not be our ways. But the question is, if he tells you to do certain things, will you do it? If God tells you to wake up morning and go and visit somebody at Ogoloncho and you don't have a kobo in your pocket, will you go? Will you trek? Will you take your leg like this and say, God, you are the one telling me I will go? Nonetheless, whether it hurts, it doesn't hurt, I will go. How many of us can do that? Please, if you cannot do it, start to think again. Because this dispensation of Christianity is for people who have guts. People who have the mind to obey.